afternoon and happy Monday. We are finally back. I feel like a couple weeks ago I tried to go live when my partner in crime was not with me and the sound was off. So yeah, you got like 15 minutes of just Josie talking to nothingness. And then last week I got back from my cruise, we got sidetracked. There's a lot happening. And so, whatever. We are back today. We are here with episode 30. And today's kind of a vlog cast, if you will. We're talking about kind of the consequences of missing out. Like what happens with the what if, right?
Exactly. Like we all, and we experience it in every aspect of our lives, like, holding off on something for something better, or, banking on what someone else says and making a decision on the facts that they're giving you instead of what you have in front of you. And it really came up when we were talking because we were chatting last week, and that's why we didn't get on our live. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background.
No.
So, but when we got on the live, we didn't get on the live because we were talking about me regretting not going on the cruise with Josie. And that was because I was totally thinking I was going on another trip. It was one of my really good friends, like sister, her 50th birthday, and she was planning this whole thing. And I put off doing anything else because that's what she said. And fast forward, that didn't
Two
happen.
trips actually that you
Yes, because it
had
was the wedding
potentially
and
on the,
yep,
yeah.
yep. And so I thought I was making a responsible choice, which in hindsight, I probably was, because even going on the cruise with Josie, I could, probably not afford to waste money, not waste money, because it's not waste money. Vacations are
Hey,
never a
hey,
waste of
hey,
money.
hey. I'm like,
Never a
yes,
waste of money.
traveling is not a waste of money. And it
No,
was like a
it's
year and
not.
a half out. So it was
It
well
was.
budgeted for those of us who went. It was friends and
Yeah.
family cruise. So of course, Chris is my extended family, my BPBF. So she was invited.
Yes. But
Um,
that's where it stemmed from. But we realized like we do this every day in our lives and our businesses and have to deal with it in our lives and our businesses when it's not just us, but like buyers who see 3,000 houses because they think another good one is going to come, like there's going to be something better. But the truth of the matter is, guys, there is always going to be something bigger and better. There really is. In anything in your life, there's always going to be another opportunity, another, you know, but it's not going to be what you have presented in front of you. And so when we were chatting, we were just like, you have to make a decision with the facts you have in front of you, not what ifs, right? That's where this whole what ifs, like, but what if? Yeah, what if? There are a lot of what ifs, but you
mhm.
can't think on that. So that's what we were chatting about because um especially in our industry, and Josie, I'm sure you experience this too, is like we look at everybody's social media and it's portrayed as one thing, right? And we talk about the fact that most of social media are people's highlights. Like they're only highlighting the good part. So
Oh,
you're
right,
like,
for sure. Social
yeah,
media is what people want you to see, good
yeah.
and or bad, but it's still what they want you to see.
Yes, because there's some people who post bad because they want attention, or they maybe not even attention, but maybe they are the real person who wants to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But
Mhm.
95% of the time, people are showing you their highlights of the best parts of their lives. And so
Mhm.
we look at that and compare ourselves to it. And that's where a lot of regret comes from. Like if I did make the decision to um, you know, go on the other vacation, let's say it transpired, I'm gonna look at Josie's pictures and still say, "Oh my God, I wish I was on that cruise because it looks great, right?" But at the end of the day, that's really what we were just talking about, and we decided that we needed to bring it on our live because everybody deals with it.
Yeah, and I think it's so there's a few things, right? It's there's just FOMO. I mean, FOMO is totally normal, right? Like I'm debating on doing like a small getaway for Labor Day weekend, for example. So part of me is like, I could sit my butt home, and be fine. Part of me is like, I could go visit my mom in Georgia and visit Carissa and whoever else down there. And then part of me is like, but what if? But what if, right? And so I think that that is just an honest human reaction. And there's nothing wrong with kind of sitting in the what if. But are you sitting in it because of something you can control, or are you basing it off of somebody else's expectations or somebody else's kind of timeline, right? So that's where I think part of the conversation that we started to have last week with each other was, if you're holding off on something because it's what you really want to do, then that's one thing, but or don't want to do, right? But if it's because you are waiting on somebody else, then when they fall through or whatever the case is, now you're kicking yourself because it's almost like, well, you want to blame them, right? But then you're blaming yourself because you're like, well, I didn't have to wait on them. Like nobody told me to do that. And so I'm big on like take control of what you can control, right? Take control of your own life. I am big on traveling. Y'all know this, okay, personally. But the reality is that that's been a bigger push for me since I got divorced, right? Because I have more of the freedom to do that. I still did it before, but I was just being the breadwinner. I'm the one that covered most of the trips and things like that. And so being solely responsible for party of one plus whoever I'm traveling with or meeting up with is just a lot easier. Like I can just get up and go to Labor Day, for away for Labor Day weekend, because whether it's going to visit like in Georgia, whether I go to
Mhm.
Cali, whether I stay local, I don't necessarily have to answer to anybody else, if that makes sense, right? And so whatever
Oh,
I choose
100%.
to do at the end of the day, it's on me. um and so I think, if you switch it to like the real estate sense, like when you're trying to help navigate your clients through different decisions like that, right? Like if they want to pass up on a house because they're truly not convinced that this is the house for them, or that maybe, it's early on in the process, they don't want to feel like they took the first egg out of the basket or whatever, then that's one thing, right? And yet if they're doing it because, well, my mom thinks maybe I could find something better. My sister's uncle said that I could get something cheaper for my budget with more backyard or whatever. If it's factors that are outside of what they can control, then that is where you, as their kind of guided resource, would want to help them kind of navigate some of those conversations. So hopefully that makes sense in how we're trying to correlate it, because it really is like anything else. What can apply in one area of your life can apply in multiple areas of your life. And so that was kind of this whole what if, like, do you really want to miss out on that trip? Do you really want to miss out on that house? Do you really want to miss out on that buyer? We had a seller who missed out on three potential purchase contract opportunities because she was being stubborn, honestly, okay. And and
Right.
unfortunately, every offer came in like lower than the next, and it wasn't what she wanted, but it's what the market was telling her she was going to get, right? And so it's the same thing, like, well, what if you had went with the first offer, because now you wish you went with that first offer is long gone, and they have now found a new property to kind of be their dream home. So
Exactly. And that happens so much more than I would love it to, because I mean, that's the problem. I was dealing with one of my agents today. She got a really nasty text from her seller, basically insinuating that she's not doing her job, which I know that this is one of our top agents. Like she is on it. If it were another agent, I might question a little bit, but she provided them the information they needed, the comps, all of that. It's been on the market for quite a while now, and they did get a great offer. They went under contract, and during their due diligence, now keep in mind this is over $1 million property. So during the due diligence, when someone's buying over $1 million property, you're not looking at, oh, an outlet needs to be repaired. Like it's probably bigger repairs because they're paying bigger dollars. So they expect the house to be move-in ready unless it's substantially less. So long story short, they needed some windows repaired, which was needed. And the sellers were like, no, we got this offer so quick, and we're not doing that. And guess what? They terminated and have not had one other offer since, and could have been done with it a year ago, but now just because they were banking on another offer coming in, they lost out. And it's now the agent's fault. How? Right? So just
mhm.
preparing, and I'm not saying my agent couldn't have, you know, use what you have in the moment, in any moment. Like with that, I would look at it as, okay, maybe I need to have a better conversation up front. Like, the first offer is usually the best offer. That's a cliche statement, but it usually is.
Right.
And so if we can work off of that, what I want you to realize as a seller is that if we're going to wait on it and you're not in a rush and it's not costing you, okay, cool, we'll wait. But if you're ultimately paying X amount of dollars a month in your mortgage and you're balancing two different houses, that gets pricey really quick. So that, maybe $10,000 in windows is looking pretty good right now because if your household costs you between 10 and 12 on $1 million house, I don't know what the mortgage is, but I'm thinking somewhere around $10,000 a month. There you go. 1 month, you would have been done. Like, so it's stuff like that where you do have to be the voice of reason and not emotion for your buyer and seller. And my job, I know even with the one I actually closed on one today, we went and looked at like 5 houses. That was it. And while he was an easier one, I listened to him. And anytime he was doubting it, I'm like, well, it hit this, this, and this. So what's the problem?
Right.
And when you
Right.
don't hear anything, there's not a problem. They're just looking for something else. Like they are literally having FOMO. Like, oh, but what if I find the next, what if it's the next one? What if it is? What if it isn't?
Right. Right. And I think that part, it's just important to call a spade sometimes and help
Mhm.
people self-discover, help, realize that, listen, what you're feeling is FOMO. It's not necessarily like based on facts. It's not necessarily based on the reality of the situation right now,
Mhm.
like, or the offer that you're being presented with right now, or whatever it might look like, right? Even opportunities, like even with our coaching partnership, for example, like I posed the idea to Carissa, like, hey, why don't we consider blah blah blah, right? Now she could have been like no for a million reasons, and yet we're going on, what are we, 3 years now? Look at us.
Yeah,
I think
right.
having this real estate ops together, and like we're still doing the damn thing, right? And so, but what if she had said no? What if I never opened up my mouth out of my own fear that she would say no, and never put myself out there even to potentially be like, hey, I'm open to this if you're open to this, right? So
Right.
just think about the opportunities that you might be missing out on, the opportunities that you might be shutting down before they're even fully developed, right? For and then like assess what's the reason. Like what is the reason behind the what if, right? That's causing you to kind of pause. It's probably oftentimes it's based out of fear, right? Some kind of a
Hmm.
fear, whatever that fear might be. That's Tony Robbins thing, who talks a lot about different fears and things like that,
Hmm.
right? And just figure it out and just take some time to try to not, I'd say, rush into missing out on an opportunity that you might regret later.
Exactly. Because you're right, though. You hit it a nail on the head. It's fear, whether it's fear of something else coming along, fear of the commitment, fear of the rejection, fear of just the unknown in
Right.
general. So when there's so much that we don't know, we walk out of our house every day and we don't know what's going to happen. So take that same energy and realize, like, if you actually put it towards like the thing you want or do, the worst that could happen is you just don't do it again. Like literally, if me and Josie did this and it didn't work, it didn't work. But we would never know if we didn't try. And that's really the point in this is no matter what it is, guys, get rid of the what ifs and just do it. Be like Nike, just do it because there's no other way to know if you don't do it. And um that's really about it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way to say it. Emphasis on Nike phrase. Don't come for us, Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. So that's it. That's hopefully that I know someone is listening to this right now and then they're like, oh, they're talking to me. Yeah, we probably are. We probably are. So take it to
Yep.
heart
We're
and
talking to
just,
everybody because everybody
yeah,
has something. Everybody has a what if in the back of their mind. Like, what if I just, started this business? What if I purchased my first house? It might not be my dream house, but what if I just, you know, pulled the trigger? What if? What, like,
right. That part. What if I pulled the trigger? I think
yeah,
that's a good catchphrase. Keep in the back of your mind. What if I just say yes?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because we always want to think about the worst case scenario.
Right.
But guess what? It could go like, what if it winds up being better than you even thought it could be?
Hmm.
What
Agreed.
if?
Agreed. Mm. All right. Well, we are gonna pop off. Oh my God, next Monday is already August. Crazy, crazy. Well,
How? I
it's
don't even know.
I know 4 months almost left to the year. So we'll see you. We'll see you on Monday. And if this was an aha, then we'd love to hear about it in the comments. So drop a comment and let us know if this impacted you. We'd love to
Yeah.
hear it. All right.
See
Bye,
y'all
guys.
later.